Hello everyone, my name is Carlos. I'm a game developer, photographer, and watch enthusiast, and today I'm going to tell you the sad story of my 1975 STEELDIVE watch. Let's go. About a week ago from AliExpress, I got a 1975 STEELDIVE watch, and I got this watch for a couple of reasons. One, I saw this really cool mod that somebody on the Seiko mods face group posted that looked amazing. Hopefully I have an image that I can show you of the original post. And these watches are like super affordable. They're like 80 bucks, 90 bucks, depending on what time you buy them on AliExpress. So that kind of piqued my interest, right? Like I saw what a mod could look like if I was to change the dial and the hands, and the watch was inexpensive, so overall I could have this really cool watch for about $130, which if you think about it, with it having an NH35 inside of it is freaking amazing. So I put my order on AliExpress, and a few weeks later, because as you guys know, everything from AliExpress takes forever, the watch finally arrived. And to my surprise, when I opened it, I was trying to get first impression videos for you guys, but unfortunately it was like a really crazy day. I had a million things like blow up on me, family stuff, you know how it is, daddy life. So I wasn't able to actually record the first impressions, and I just wanted to open the watch and enjoy it and be excited about it. But unfortunately that wasn't quite my experience. Now, I'll tell you, before I get too much into the bad, I'll spend some time telling you all of the things that are actually really awesome about this watch. So here's the watch. Overall, I think that the case and bracelet of this watch are really awesome, and the dial is very good except for the markers. Unfortunately, with this particular watch, like STEELDIVE decided to just kind of print markers on, and when you look up close, like it's pretty crappy. They look pretty bad. The loom is okay, but the markers, the way that they're printed is just pretty terrible. They have other watches that have actually like overlaid markers, and those always look so much better. They definitely make the watch feel a little bit more high-end. Unfortunately on this one, I said the printed markers were just, I think that was just a bad choice. I would say that the bezel action is okay. One of the things that's good about this versus maybe other watches is that it's not very stiff at all. It is the usual unidirectional 120 click ceramic insert, which looks really nice, and it seems to be lined up really well, and it's also loomed, which is great. But you know, it's very easy to work the action. It's not like a hard action at all. And usually that might be bad for other watches, but I think that with the baby Tuna Homage, it's not too bad because you get that shroud anyway. So the shroud's supposed to protect the bezel from being bumped anyways. So it's probably a good thing that they decided to make it a little bit easier to turn with a good amount of clickiness versus making it as stiff as they usually would on just like a regular watch that wouldn't have the shroud protecting the bezel. But overall it's okay. It definitely has a little bit of backplay, but man, I mean, I think I paid 90 bucks for this thing, you know, like you can't really go wrong with that. It has a really nice signed crowd, which is cool. The little laser edging on STEELDIVE on the back is not too bad either. I was really surprised with the bracelet, to be honest. The bracelet is actually quite good. It's an engineered bracelet, but the middle links are actually fully articulated. So they're articulated on both sides. Now, that's not something that you see on bracelets. Usually they kind of cheat that middle bracelet and kind of fuse it into the upper bracelet. So it's actually pretty cool to see, you know, that they actually is fully articulated. So I really like that. The system is basically just pins, so you just punch the pin out, really easy. If you have a $13, you know, hammer and pin set from Amazon, you should be able to fit this watch. The clasp is, it's okay, you know, it has like the little safety thing. It's like a stamp clasp, so, you know, I mean, nothing to really get excited about there, but you know, like once you have it closed, it's relatively comfortable. From the outside it looks nice, right? And also, you know, watch, once again, like $90. What do you expect? I think so far, other than the markers, like if this thing had overlaid markers, man, it would be super freaking sweet. But it doesn't, and as I said, anyways, the plan is to change it down anyways. So, you know, I wasn't too upset about that, but overall, I think the case looks fantastic for like 90 bucks. The bezel's a banger. sapphire crystal double dome, so it has a little bit of like roundness to it. It has a really cool kind of distortion effect as you look at it from the edge. No complaints here. And just to end up at the bracelet, the last thing I forgot to mention is that it does have 3 micro adjustments. So for me, I took, I think, 4 links out of the bracelet, and then I was actually able to use the last micro adjustment to get the perfect fit. The micro adjustment, I would say, is equivalent to 1 link or a half link with like pretty nice, I don't know. Anyways, micro adjustment I think is gonna be good enough for most people on the clasp. However, you can also get one of these nicer clasps from Strapco, which has the diver extension. So if you're not a big fan of the clasp, I think that these clasps are 60 bucks. Overall, like, awesome watch, looks great. I was really excited to do the mod. However, big problem, right? When I took this watch and I put it on the time grapher, I immediately knew something was wrong. With a full wind, this NH35 only had an amplitude of about 167. If you're not a watchmaker or you're not a tinkerer or a modder, like, the amplitude is the amount of power the actual watch should be generating. And so you usually can tell by putting this watch on a time grapher. And so the number that you would usually expect for a healthy movement, especially an NH35, would be between 250 and 300. However, this was 166, which is super low. And at the same time, the watch was also losing about 45 seconds a day. The NH35 in here is broken. It's a bad NH35. I got unlucky and I got a movement that's broken in this otherwise pretty excellent watch. I think that this kind of leaves you with a couple of options. So you can basically return the watch to AliExpress, get your money back. However, you know, like, if you don't have a time grapher and you are not a tinkerer, you might not even know whether you got a good movement or not. It might take you weeks to realize that your watch is losing a ton of time. So that's really disappointing. But anyways, I'm returning mine to AliExpress. I was hoping to work out like a partial refund with them. As I said, I am a tinkerer. I think that if you're a tinkerer and you're willing to swap out the movement, like, replacing the movement on this is gonna be like 45 bucks. I think you can get a brand new NH35. And so if you can replace this yourself for 150 bucks, it might still be a pretty decent watch, you know? However, at 90 without working movement, it would have been like bananas. I don't know, as I said, I'm returning mine. I was trying to negotiate a partial refund with AliExpress, hoping that they would give me 30 or 40 bucks so I could just order the movement and swap it out myself. Unfortunately, they were like, nope, just send it back. But you know, AliExpress on the dispute did say that they were going to be on the hook for paying the shipping. Now, it's kind of weird how all that works because, like, I guess they don't give you like a mailing label. Like, I will actually have to like go to the post office and get a receipt for the cost, and then I'm supposed to send it to the seller on AliExpress, which is like the STEELDIVE shop, and then they're supposed to like reimburse me. So I have no idea how that's gonna work out, but maybe that'll be another video. With that said, I haven't lost that much faith on STEELDIVE, because about a week after I ordered this guy, before he got here, I also ordered a bronze 1970, which is basically like their homage to the Seiko Willard. And that came in today, and I'm gonna be showing you guys that, because that watch, a total banger, man. It is running great. I got a really good NH35 in there, and the dial looks awesome. The bronze case is freaking awesome. It actually already has a little bit of patina just from me handling it a little bit, so I'm really excited about that. STEELDIVE as a brand, I'm kind of confused, to be honest, because if you get a banger, like, I can understand why people love this brand so much, because I mean, the value for what you get, like, it's pretty unbeatable. I mean, it's pretty close to Seiko. Like, it's pretty close. And you're gonna be saving a couple of $100 bucks, which means that, I don't know, maybe you can do something fun with that. Like, go to a movie, buy another STEELDIVE. I don't know, maybe you can get 3 watches for the price of 1, if you're into that. Or maybe you can save some money and make yourself an awesome mod. You know, like, if you're in the modding community and you're trying to buy parts and do that type of stuff, if you go to dedicated part sites, you can spend $400 to $500 on a mod. And I think that's why, like, the STEELDIVEs for modders are like a godsend, because you're basically getting a case, you're getting everything that makes up a watch for $100, and then you can just buy the specific parts that you want to change, and that saves you so much money versus parting the thing out and then putting everything together. I said NH35 is 40 bucks, guys, and this thing was 80 bucks. So if this had had a good NH35 in it, the rest of the watch would have been 40 bucks. Where if I was to part this watch out and make a custom version of it, I probably would be getting the case and everything else from the same vendor, but it would be sold as a premium to me. Like the case alone would have been like 120 bucks. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about STEELDIVE. As I said, I'm really disappointed on this one. I really wish that I could keep it and just change the movement, but I don't want to put another 40 bucks into it. I kind of rather return it and put that money into something else. But man, guys, stay tuned for that Willard review. It is a total banger. It's such a just awesome watch for the money. Maybe you guys can tell me what you guys think in the comments. Like, do you guys have STEELDIVers? Do you guys have like a lot of watches that like maybe you bought one thinking it was gonna be a great deal and it ended up being a total dud? You know, maybe you have a ton of STEELDIVers and all your STEELDIVers have been amazing, or maybe you had so many duds that you've completely given up on the brand. Tell me in the comments. It helps with the algorithm. Let's definitely try to beat the algo. This is my second video on YouTube, so like I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate you guys subscribing and giving me likes and all of that stuff. You know, if you guys like what I'm doing, that's a way that you can show me, is by subscribing, giving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff. And you know, if I get enough of that, I don't know, maybe I'll make another one. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.